All right. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy. I am back again with another video. I hope that you guys are doing well and I hope that you guys are staying safe. So you guys, this is Joy here and I am a narcissist abuse coach. I've been dealing with narcissists since 2006 and since 2017, I have been helping former victims, now survivors, heal, move on, and recover after dealing with narcissistic abuse. So you guys, this is not going to be too much of a long video, but I did want to go ahead and cover two topics here. The first one, I actually saw this on my Facebook, and then the other one was actually just a comment from a subscriber when I went live. So I did just want to go ahead and bring that up. But the first thing that I saw, I think that you guys could all appreciate and, just keep this in mind, when it comes to dealing with the narcissist here. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Give me one moment, you guys. So this is, like I said, I saw this on one of my groups on Facebook. Make sure that you guys do follow me there, add me, follow Live Narc Free as well. But basically, it talks about deflection from the narcissist. So sometimes, when you're in a connection with a narcissist or, you could experience when the narcissist maybe tries to deflect, right? They try to, not talk about a certain topic or, not bring up a certain subject or try to avoid it or whatever. You may or may not want to hear certain stuff that you may have to say, or maybe somebody else has said, or just generally speaking, the topic at hand. So I did just want to bring this up for those of you that could be dealing with this, or somebody else dealing with this. But deflection, it says, when the narcissist is facing a uncomfortable truth, he or she will often angrily change the subject or accuse you of what he or she has done. This is done to avoid responsibility. The narcissist will blame you and anyone else for what goes wrong in his or her life. Going into a rage is a common form of deflection, but anything he or she does that takes the focus off of his or her own behavior is a deflection. So yeah, this is definitely true here. So let's say, maybe the narcissist has maybe said something to you, maybe they've done something to you, or maybe they've had somebody else do something to you, or whatever the case is, right? So a lot of times, the narcissist doesn't want to face that, right? They rather ignore it. They rather pretend like they're not doing it, or, they rather be delusional about it and things like that. And maybe you might try to approach the narcissist or talk to the narcissist about it or whatever the case may be. Of course, they're going to deny it. A lot of times they'll get angry. A lot of times they'll try to say you're the crazy one and try to, say all this stuff, because they don't like to face the truth, right? Because what did I tell you guys in that previous video? The narcissist, they have to live a lie because, that's what they chose. They chose to live in a life of lies versus, other people may choose differently. But with the narcissist, they have to lie because, if they don't lie, then they're going to have to face that uncomfortable truth, which, is not something that they want to face, right? But, yeah, and so the thing is if you try to bring something up to the narcissist, doesn't matter who the narc is in your life. It could be a friend, family member. It could be, mother, father, auntie, uncle, But what they'll do is they'll change the subject or accuse you and things like that. And again, we all know the narcissist doesn't like to take accountability, doesn't like to take responsibility for their actions. They rather blame other people. They rather say it's other people's fault. They rather, try to, cause someone else to have to take the load of, some things that they have done. You know what I mean? And so, especially if it's negative, right? And, because the narcissist does negative things, you know what I'm saying? And it's just funny how they try to avoid, what it is that they've done is just like, well, if you've done this, that's what happens when you do negative stuff, versus when you do positive stuff, that's different, so that's the narcissist for you. They'll definitely try to avoid accountability and responsibility. A lot of times they'll try to blame you for stuff that they are doing or the things they have done to you, whether it's to hurt you, harm you in any way. They'll try to blame you for or make you take responsibility. It's just like, no, you have to deal with, what you've done. You get me? But yeah, so they'll do that. And then they'll go into a rage, and things like that. Um, and it's funny too because I remember actually my aunt, when I was like in no contact with my aunt, before I went no contact with my aunt, our last time that I had saw her, she actually got into a rage because I wasn't listening to what she was trying to tell me to do with my life. A lot of narcissists, especially the female narcs, are very controlling. They're very manipulative, very cunning, and very passive aggressive as well, right? And her and I, we were having a conversation and things like that, and we were actually supposed to have been going Christmas shopping. She was quote unquote supposed to have been buying me something for Christmas. That was the tradition that she would do, just to try to see if she still had control over me and stuff like that. And when I finally was like, no, I'm okay. Like, you don't have to buy me anything for Christmas and things like that. I think that's when she started to see that things were different, I guess you would say. And, the narcissist will test you. They'll try to see like, oh, okay, like, do I still have control over them? Do I still have financial control? Or do I still have emotional control? Or, you know, stuff like that. And if they find that they don't, then they kind of go into a rage, or they'll try to like do something to try to get the control back, or they'll just try to see like what's going on and where you're at with it. But long story short, with my aunt, since she was considered a legal guardian to me at the time, she was just trying to say, hey, I am older, I know what's best, I think you should live your life like this, you know, and things like that. And I understand the perspective. I get it, but at the same time, she kind of blamed her aggressive behavior on the fact that, she had told my grandmother, which was her mother, that she wanted me to, graduate from high school, graduate from college, and she was just doing the best thing that she thought was right for me. She saw me as a daughter, and she just really was like looking out for my best interest, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. So she was trying to justify her behaving that way. And she was like, oh, I told your grandmother that I was going to make sure that you graduated, and graduated high school and college and all that, this and this and that. And I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, I mean, I had long been since finished high school and college, so that was just kind of a little over the top there, and so long story short, you guys, so I was in the car with my aunt. This was before I went full no contact with her. So, I was telling her about the plans that I wanted to do, and she was telling me she thought like the plans that she felt was best for me. And I'm telling her like, okay, I completely understand, but at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me type of deal, right? I mean, we all have that right to do that. Like, we all have the right to make decisions to do what's best for us, right? Whatever makes us happy, whatever we feel is right, we have that right to do it. Now, I'm not going to say that you can't get advice from other people. I'm not going to say you can't, like tune into what other, like if you ask somebody something like, hey, like, what do you think about this, blah, blah, blah. If you agree with what they're saying, cool. If not, cool. Like, everybody should have their own right to make their own decisions without, being coerced into stuff or being manipulated into doing something, or, somebody like influencing you to do like certain stuff that you don't want to do. Now, I can see if somebody is influencing you to do something positive, but if someone's trying to influence you to do something negative, or it's based off of control and manipulation and fear and guilt and obligation, and that's not love, that's just control, that's manipulation. You get me? But Yeah, and so long story short, you guys, with my aunt, I basically ended up telling her that, I wasn't gonna go through with what she was, trying to tell me to do. And she went into this whole rage, you guys. Like she like went off. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, like I need to go home. And so narcissists will do that, and the thing about it, what it was is I think she saw that, her finances couldn't control me, because that's the other thing. A lot of times the narcissists like to use their finances as a weapon. They try to control like other family members. They like to feel powerful. They like to look down on other people and feel like, oh, okay, I've acquired this, I've acquired that. So, I'm this, I'm that, blah, blah, blah. And so, when, you kind of say like, hey, like I can make my own money, like I don't need yours type of deal, then that gets the narcissist upset, because again, they feel like they're losing their control over you. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. And so anyways, the other thing, I don't know if I ever shared this with you guys, but my aunt did admit to me, that she also treated me the way that she did was due to the fact that she felt like she didn't live her life, and she saw a lot of potential in me, and she felt like, she basically was telling me that she was trying to live her life through me, and the fact that I wasn't allowing her was making her upset. So that is something that you just want to be mindful of when it comes to dealing with, the narcissists, especially the female narcs, like whether it's your mother, it's your in-law, it's a auntie, uncle, sibling, or whatever the case may be. Like these female narcs, to be honest, in my opinion, I think they're the worst. But all narcs are equally, the same. But for me, I just feel like the female narc can do a little bit more damage, because a lot of them, they have influence over their children, and then the children, they get older, and then they kind of mimic that behavior. They begin to do the similar things to what they was taught growing up, or what they saw, or what they heard, or the narcissist can turn people into minions, right? They, especially the female narc, they can turn people into flying monkeys and agents, and and things like that. So you just got to be mindful. Now, the male narcs can do the same, but the females, it's just something about the female narcs. A lot of people look for approval when it comes to, like, females in general, or moms, or, any other female figure, you know what I mean? So they have a little bit more power, a little bit more authority, and they can abuse it a little bit more, I think, more than men, in my opinion. But that's just me, is what I feel. But everybody has their own opinion, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I hope that that was helpful in understanding the flexion. So if you're trying to ask the narcissist something, or bring something up, just understand, if you try to bring it up, they're probably just gonna pretend like you're crazy, or try to blame it on you, or just try to just try to make you feel like, like weird about you bringing it up. Because the thing is, the narcissist doesn't want the truth to come out. They don't want things to be revealed about them, because like I said, they have to put on a facade. That's just how they've chosen to live. And you bringing that up, they don't like that. So that's just something just to be mindful of, right? So anyways, now I did want to actually touch on, you guys, let me see here. So this actually was a comment that was left on a live that I was doing. I think it was this past Sunday. Someone said here, about the narcissist. They said that there's something seriously wrong in the brain structure of the narcissist, which is why medical intervention can't cure them. So I kind of wanted to look into that, like the brain structure of a narc. Like, let's look into their brain. I feel like I've made a video about this like years ago. Let me just see here. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. Structure of a narcissist. Let's see. Let me see. I know the damage that they can do to other people's brain. You know, a lot of them, they can cause people to have memory loss. They can cause people to be scatterbrained. They can cause people to be confused. You know, they can cause people to be fatigued and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So I know that the damage that they can cause on their victims, but as far as, you know, their brain structure here, and pretty much reason why there's not really a cure per se, because, you know, at the end of the day, these individuals know what it is that they're doing. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of them making that decision of, you know, wanting to change, but because they don't change, and that just means that that is their personality. You know what I'm saying? And it's a disorder, you know, because that's the makeup of who they are. You know, that's just them. You know, but here, let me see. This is really interesting. I didn't really think of this. Okay, so let's see. So you guys, I'm gonna go over this. So it says brain structure of a narc. It says research suggests that people with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, have structural and functional abnormalities in their brains. So reduced gray matter. And you guys are welcome to go to amenclinics.com. Okay. People with NPD may have less gray matter in the left anterior insula, a part of the cerebral cortex that is associated with empathy, compassion, emotional regulation, and cognitive function. Gray matter is made up of the neuron cell bodies and other brain cells that provide energy and nutrients to neurons. Okay. And it also says here increased activity. So people with NPD may also have increased activity in brain regions associated with self-absorbed and self-directed thinking. It also states abnormal activity, functional neural imagining studies have also shown abnormal activities in these areas. So yeah, very interesting. Also, it says some researchers believe that these brain's abnormalities, especially in the insular cortex, could make it easier to diagnose NPD and the lack of empathy that is associated with it. Other researchers have identified a brain circuit that incorporates regions like the angular gyrus, lateral and middle frontal gyri, Rolandic apparel, I hope I said that right, and the Heschi Garus as a strong predictor of narcissistic personality traits. So very interesting. Also, it says according to research, people with NPD have, yeah, I pretty much said this, reduced gray matter volumes in areas of brain related to empathy, increased activity on baseline images of brain regions associated with self-directed and self-absorbed thinking. So yeah, this is very, very interesting here. Interesting. Okay, so it says what part of the brain is damaged in a narcissist? Yeah, it looks like it's the insular cortex. It says these are consistencies of the NPD brain that led researchers to believe that brain abnormalities, specifically in the insular cortex, can more easily diagnose narcissism and the lack of empathy that comes along with the disorder. Yeah, is what I see here. Very interesting. It says, what happens when the narcissist loses his or her mind? It says angry outbursts, irritability, increase in physical or verbal aggression, increases in perceived rejection. So sometimes the narcissist can lose their mind. So that's very interesting to hear. But yeah, no, I love that comment though. And it also says why medical intervention, yeah, can't cure them. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, can narcissism be cured? Can they take medicine? Does the medicine help out? Usually it doesn't. It probably makes it even worse. Which is probably why a lot of people that do have NPD don't go and get checked because A lot of them don't want to hear the truth, right? What we talked about earlier, the whole deflection. A lot of them don't think that there's anything wrong, so a lot of them are not going to do it. And I've actually heard, one particular individual that had NPD, one person that I knew, it was their mother that had NPD. And, the individual was like, hey, mom, do you think you may have NPD or, some sort of narcissism? And the mom was like, no, like, I don't have that. Do you? And the person's like, hey, mom, do you want to get checked? And she was like, no, do you want to get checked? So a lot of times they'll deflect like that because, sometimes they know that that's what's going on. They have a personality disorder, but they don't want people to know, or they don't want to face it. They rather blame other people, or they rather ignore it, or they rather deflect, right? They rather talk about something else or change the subject, or, try to do something different to where, it regards to them, so that's just something to be mindful of. But yeah, there's no medication that can cure them. They have to cure themselves. And the unfortunate part is that that's not something that they're going to do. So, the best thing for you to do if you're listening to this is you have to cure yourself, and that starts with doing the inner work and doing the inner healing. And some people don't want to do the inner healing, and that's okay. Like I always say, we all have decisions to make in life, and we all have to do what's best for us. Whatever makes us happy, that's what we have to do. You guys get me? So anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope that this video did help and resonate. I would love to know, what was your takeaway? Make sure that you guys, if you would like any support from me, please feel free to visit my website. You can go to livenarcfree.com, or you can send me an email at livenarcfree9@gmail.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to supporting you in any way that I can. Make sure that you guys do join my free Facebook support group called The Healing and the Recovery Room, and all that good stuff. You're welcome to join. Definitely have like 50 members in there now. So, please be sure to join. Also, get your sugar scrub. Try my sugar scrub. I have the milk and coconut scented, so make sure that you guys do try it. It's for men and women. Would love that. And then also, if you have not, make sure that you do get both of my books called Reclaim Your Life Back and Your Pain Will Make You Successful. Highly, highly recommend it. Or any other of my products and my services. If you need any advice or any guidance, any confirmation or clarity, I'd look forward to providing that to you. But anyway, I love you guys. I'm sending you so much love. Virtual hugs, you guys. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.